It was no accident.
Here we go. Apparently, when I was a baby, I would tap my foot to the beat of like whatever song was on. So I guess in a way, music has been dictating my steps since the beginning. There's so much I could say that it's kind of like hard to focus my thoughts on this, but I'm gonna try my best and explain how I really feel about it. Back in first grade, I remember seeing this kid named Todd. He walked into the classroom after lunch with like a bunch of little toys and doodads. And I asked him, I was like, Todd, where'd you get all this stuff? And I wanted some toys and doodads too, you know. And he said, piano class. Next week, where do you think I was? Yeah, piano class. I believe her name was Miss Largo, and she opened my little mind up to the classics. Well, I mean, as class as like a 6-year-old can get, I guess. But, you know, you get the gist. I played with her up until 4th grade, but I stopped after my dad passed. My father was also a musician. He played acoustic and electric guitar, I think since he was a kid as well. He loved classical music, rock and roll, and some instrumental stuff, too, from his era. A bunch of different stuff. And but I never really got to talk to my dad about music. He got taken away from me like way too soon. And I hadn't even really thought about the connection music can create between two people at that age. Like, I was a smart kid, but I wasn't that smart. And if I sure, you know, I did for damn sure was not a psychic, so I had no idea what was coming. But I guess this isn't a biography. This is why I love music. So let me get on that. I grew up pretty sheltered, to be honest. I wasn't allowed to listen to much of anything that wasn't Christian music, I guess. Everything that wasn't was classified as secular and not of God. So when I got to middle school, I picked up a lot of bands from like my friends and their older siblings, but they were all like modern radio rock, Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, MCR, stuff like that, you know. So when I met my guitar teacher in 9th grade, he asked what kind of music I was into, and I was pretty embarrassed to admit that I didn't really have any idea of anything outside of like Panic at the Disco and Linkin Park, you know. He's kind of a metal snob, so he laughed when I said that, and then he proceeded to show me like the real classics, Zeppelin, Metallica, Floyd, Queen, stuff like that, and it was great. It was like a personal renaissance for me, and that was the true start of my journey that led me here, you know what I mean? You're probably wondering when I'm going to start telling you why I love music, so sorry. I just had to give you some context and background before I got like into the really heavy stuff. It's pretty cliche to say that music saved my life or something along those lines, but in my case, the stereotype is honestly completely true. I was a shell of myself after my dad died, to put it lightly. I wouldn't shower. I would just sleep through class and everything. I completely shut everyone out of my life, and honestly just wanted to die. And that's a terrible feeling to have, and especially for like an 11-year-old. I was completely living my life through my dreams and like television. I didn't want to feel that pain ever again because it was so real and so all-encompassing, you know? I couldn't see or feel anything other than just like hurt and pain, and it sucked, and I was really scared. I basically lost my mom for a while there too after my dad passed, and I felt so alone, like no one understood or like no one cared to understand, and I was really bad off. You know what really saved me though? Marijuana and alcohol. No, seriously though. It's weird to say this, but drugs honestly brought down a lot of the walls I had built up over the years. I could like talk to people on it. I could feel things again. It was almost a miracle for me. And then I heard music for the first time again. Like hearing music while I was high was like completely and utterly it just enhanced my already like latent musical ability and just shot it to the moon. I could feel the music. I could almost see it when I closed my eyes. It was so real and so powerful, you know. My closest friends from high school proceeded to like open my mind even more. They showed me Between the Buried and Me, The Contortionist, and Protest the Hero. It's like they handed me a compass and pointed me north, and they told me this is all I would need to find my way, and they weren't wrong. Those 3 bands molded and like ultimately changed who I was on like a spiritual level. Like they probably helped open my third eye or something like that. You know, that and the DMT I smoked when I was 15, you know. But my eyes were like utterly ripped open to the world around me. Like I was blind my entire life or something. It was like utterly transcendent, to be honest. And now you have to remember that I was a very lonely and hurt kid. I had basically given up on life at age 10, and I didn't really have a plan or anything remotely resembling one. So nothing made me feel something like music had. It was everything I had that was positive, like in my eyes at the time, in my life. So everything else in my life went to the wayside and to the back burner, and everything but drugs and music. I'm not going to sit here and like recount my entire existence, since I think you guys get the point. I've had a fucked up life, and the only constant I've had is music. Ever since I was tapping my foot to some Yanni song when I was barely 1 year old, it's been here with me. It's seen my highs, and it's been with me through my lows. Like, no matter where I go, it goes with me. It's like been the soundtrack of my life, almost. It's almost like a metaphor for music itself to me. it's everything. So it's from E to F, the entire scale, the light, airy sound of a flute, or like the brash, primal sound of drums. Like, it's all there, and it always has been. And it probably always will be, with me at least. I don't know what really life has in store for me anymore. I don't know if this is the end or is this the beginning. Like, I'm hoping for the latter, but if not, I will be happy with the song my life has sung so far. No matter how dark and sad it may sound, to me it sounds beautiful. And music completely filled the void, that all-encompassing silence that loneliness and depression can give a person, and it lit my life up like nothing else, and I'll never forget it. So thank you.
My barn. Absolutely.